Kyle stood at the front door of his quaint house, the cool breeze of the summer evening gently brushing against his cheeks. In his small hands he clutched a meticulously wrapped present adorned with a vibrant bow. His parents had entrusted him with the important task of delivering the birthday gift to their beloved neighbor, Miss Thompson. With a sense of responsibility and a tinge of excitement, Kyle embarked on his journey, unaware of the eerie events that were about to unfold. As he ventured forth into the neighborhood, the fading sunlight cast long, stretching shadows against the pavement. An inexplicable sense of being watched began to tingle at the back of Kyle's mind, like an invisible presence that refused to be ignored. With each step he took, the intensity grew, weaving an undercurrent of unease into his every movement. A quick glance over his shoulder revealed nothing but the familiar houses and bustling stores on the street. Yet, a lingering feeling of being observed persisted, teasing his senses. It was as if an elusive figure hid just beyond his field of vision, melting into the fabric of the surroundings whenever he turned his head. Memories of past moments flooded Kyle's mind, moments when he had experienced the same discomforting sensation, recollections of inexplicable whispers on the wind, fleeting glimpse of a shadowy presence, and the uncanny feeling of unseen eyes following his every move. These episodes, once dismissed as childish fears, now resurfaced with haunting clarity. The neighborhood seemed to hold his breath as Kyle continued his journey. The houses, adorned with vibrant flowers and neatly manicured lawns, exuded an air of silent curiosity. The street lamps flickered to life, casting a soft glow that seemed to illuminate the secrets hidden within the fading day. As Kyle approached Miss Thompson's house, he couldn't shake the tightening knot of apprehension in his stomach. The evening sky transformed into a stunning palette of gold and fiery orange, lending an otherworldly aura to the scene. Every detail of the surrounding houses seemed to intensify, from the ornate carvings on front doors to the delicate lace curtains fluttering in the twilight breeze. With hesitant steps, Kyle reached Miss Thompson's porch. The warmth emanating from within the cozy house offered a stark contrast to the disquiet in his heart. Summoning his courage, he pressed the doorbell, the sound resonating through the quiet neighborhood. Miss Thompson, a gentle and gracious woman, opened the door with a smile that instantly put Kyle at ease. Her eyes sparkled with anticipation as she caught sight of the gift he held. He extended it to her, his hands trembling ever so slightly. "Happy birthday, Miss Thompson," Kyle murmured, his voice laced with a mixture of nervousness and excitement. "May I stay here for a little while?" Miss Thompson's eyebrows arched in mild surprise, her expression a curious blend of confusion and kindness. She hesitated for a moment, studying Kyle's earnest eyes, before nodding and ushering him inside. The familiar scent of freshly baked cookies enveloped him as he crossed the threshold, momentarily alleviating his unease. Once inside, the living room embraced them with its comforting ambience. Soft lighting cast gentle shadows upon the walls, and the flickering flames in the fireplace painted the room with a warm glow. Kyle's eyes wandered, taking in the family portraits adorning the mantelpiece and the shelves filled with books that whispered tales of their own. Miss Thompson settled into an armchair, inviting Kyle to join her. As they exchanged small talk, her melodious voice provided a temporary respite from his troubled thoughts. The weight of the moment hung in the air, and Kyle found it increasingly challenging to ignore the persistent feeling that someone was watching him. His gaze flickered toward the window, his heart skipping a beat. The darkness outside seemed to conceal unseen eyes peering in through the glass. The hairs on his neck stood on end as a shiver ran down his spine. Was it merely his imagination, or was there truly someone or something observing him? As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows that danced on the walls, Miss Thompson checked the clock. "It's time for you to head back home, dear," she said, a hint of concern in her voice. "Your parents might be growing worried." Reluctantly, Kyle bid Miss Thompson farewell, his mind still grappling with the enigma that had shadowed him throughout the day. With a mixture of gratitude and apprehension, he stepped out into the cool night air. The streets, now bathed in the inky blackness of night, stretched before him like a labyrinth of uncertainty. A surge of urgency propelled Kyle into a run, his footsteps echoing through the silent streets. The once familiar houses and stores blurred in his peripheral vision, and the world around him seemed to warp and twist. Shadows morphed into a grotesque figure, reaching out with ethereal fingers, threatening to ensnare him in their clutches. Fear gripped his heart, pounding in his ears as he sprinted with all his might. The relentless sensation of pursuit taunted him, urging him to push beyond his physical limits. He refused to look back, fearing that the unseen entity was on the brink of overtaking him. Finally, breathless and disoriented, Kyle arrived at his front door. His parents, their faces etched with concern, opened the door to his tear-streaked face. He collapsed into their comforting embrace, their presence a sanctuary against the terrors that had haunted him throughout the day. In hushed tones, they reassured him that it was merely his imagination, a play of shadows and whimsical thoughts. But as Kyle glanced out of the window, seeking solace in the familiarity of his surroundings, a shudder coursed through him. For a split second, a fleeting image flickered in the darkness. A shadowy figure, eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light, watching him from the depths of the night. It was a chilling reminder that some mysteries defy explanation, lurking just beyond the veil of perception. And so, the tale of Kyle and his unseen stalker continued, in a dance of shadows and secrets. That's another story done. Thanks for taking the time to listen to it, and hopefully you had a good experience. See you on the flip side.